Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams. Don't forget, of course, this program being seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. One click there will get you where you're going. If you're on a mobile device, you can always get to it by using streaming services like TuneIn, iTunes, and Streamer. That's another one. Many of them will work, and just put WEEB into the search. iHeartRadio does not work because they only put up the stations that they actually own, which they don't own this one. So iHeart doesn't work, but most all of them work. Just put WEEB in the search and we'll pop up there. If you're on a mobile device, if you're on a website looking for our stream, you can always get it in the upper right-hand corner of every web page where it says Listen Live. One tap of the icon will get you there, and you tap it once, you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area, you might see some sunshine this afternoon. Mostly cloudy this morning with rain. That'll give way to partly cloudy this afternoon. Look for a high of 64. Then tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 36. Tuesday, though, guess what? Another front, another batch of rain. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers. Won't be a washout, but a 50-50 chance of rain. Looking for a high of 46. Then Tuesday night, more of the same, below 35. Wednesday, cloudy, rain likely, a high of 48. Thursday, showers and 66. Friday, showers and 61. Over the weekend, you guessed it, cloudy with rain, high of 58. On Saturday, we bump it up almost 8 degrees to 66 on Sunday. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are south-southwest at 5. Visibility wide open at 10 statute miles. Pressure is 2994, dew point 44. Humidity 100%. It's cloudy and 44 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Let's see here. Lots to talk about. Let me first talk about Mr. I hate you. He must hate me to death because he writes periodically and criticizes me on about everything I do. Why he doesn't change the channel, I don't know. Must be something here he likes. Anyway, he first says, obviously you decided not to change D to day. He's talking about when I say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Just my accent, the way I grew up, that's what I heard, so that's what I repeat. No, I didn't come from stupid parents. My father was very successful real estate zoning attorney in Raleigh. Was honored in the courts. They have, after his death, those outstanding lawyers they have, I forget what they call it, but they do it like 4 times a year, and they're nominated by the bar, and the judge presides, and people basically eulogize his life as a lawyer. And it's all videotaped and put in State Archives Museum, and he was one of those honored. But we're Southerners. We say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And he's upset because I don't say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomato, tomato. Then he gets on me about interrupting the music. Well, we don't play music here. We play bumpers. And, yeah, like the one I just did. I jumped in midway, and there's a reason for that. There's a big reason for that. When the recorder starts, I have to make sure no more than 8 bars play without interrupting it. Because if I don't, particularly with the video, YouTube will shut it off. They'll shut it down. Because they have bots running all the time in the background looking for musical signatures of copyrighted music. Now, we pay a copyright fee every month. But that doesn't matter to YouTube because we created a new instrument, meaning the new video. And if we don't interrupt it, they shut the video off. So that's the reason for that. See, we start criticizing, we don't know all the facts. Then he writes and says, let's see, appears you cannot or will not say oil. No, I don't. Look it up. One syllable. Oil. Oil. That's it. You know, you probably say spigot. And that's incorrect. It's spigot. You know, again, tomato, tomato. Who cares? Let's see. He likes my buy locally and my tribute to the service every day. Let's see. So he had one positive thing there and say. Says most of my commercials are pretty decent. Let's see. It all boils down to you not wanting. Oh, he got on me about when I say visibility. Who cares about visibility? Well, pilots do. And it's also there to emphasize if visibility is down low, your headlights should be on. And he gives people a chance to say, oh, visibility's low. I should cut my headlights on so the other guy can see me. So it's just part of the stats that we get and the stats that we repeat. But pilots, if they were thinking about going flying today and the visibility is 3, 4, or 5 statute miles, they might want to look up their weather report and see if it's safe to fly. And also, like I said, for cars to say, well, if visibility is that low, I should have my headlights on. So there's a reasoning for that. All right, so that's Mr. Criticism for today. We'll wait for his next criticism. Again, I don't know why he doesn't use the channel button. If I'm that bad. All right, it is 7:30 past the hour. One other alarming thing that has come in. This is a story I got off the FCC over the weekend. A recent report by the FCC Communication Commission on robocalls has found that the number of spam phone calls is steadily increasing, as we all know, and will make up nearly 50% of all phone calls this year. The report looked at multiple studies and found that there were approximately 47 billion, with a B, robocalls made in 2018. And it's what, 370, is that right? 350, 370 million Americans receiving 47 billion robocalls last year. And 26 billion of them go to mobile phones. So not all of those calls were spam. Yeah, they are. You know, I even consider when a doctor's office calls you and this is a reminder, you have an appointment, da-da-da-da-da. That's spam. Get a human being to make the call. Because when people hear the robo end of it, knowing that it's a computer, don't you hang up? I do. Very second it starts in on me, this is an important message. And before they can say from Dr. So-and-so, I'm already hung up. And it invariably happens. You're tied up, you're in a meeting, you're doing something, you're thinking on something, and that call comes and disrupts it. It says, wait a minute, my spam is more important than you. You must, I'm going to annoy you to pick up that phone. I'm going to spoof you and use a local number so you think it's somebody locally trying to get a hold of you. And you'll pick it up and get it, and then what does it do? It just irritates you? It just sends your blood pressure up? And the thing is, all of them are illegal. All of them. But the ones that are, let me back up. We have a responsibility as those that receive them. The FCC actually does care that you got a robocall. They care enough that they will try to work on many of them as they can, but they can't unless you tell them about it. The FCC says they're steadfastly focused on addressing this serious problem. It's gotten to the point that most folks, like me, if it doesn't pop up a name at me telling me who's calling, I tend not to answer it. And that works against you, too, because, for example, I had an important county official call me. And because I have their personal cell phone number, but since it didn't pop up as their cell phone number, I thought it was a spoof number, and I didn't answer. And bad me, I don't go to my voicemail that often. I should go more often. And it turned out to be an important person that I should have gotten back to, but I didn't because I didn't know they called. Because I just assumed it was a robocall. I get so many of them. I'd say in my case that 90%, because my number's way out there on the internet from our website here. And so it gets picked up by a lot of different people looking telephone numbers just to call and annoy you. And so I'd say 90% of my calls are all robocalls. So I tend to let it go to voicemail. And then the theory is I check voicemail and go back to those that are legit. But a lot of people won't leave a voicemail message. I'm one of them. I call. If I hit the voicemail, most of the time I won't go there. I'll text them like most people do. And that's why it's, I guess, more important to text somebody first and say, please give me a call at your earliest convenience than trying to call them. Because in my case, with a 90% robocall rate, chances are low I'm going to answer the phone. And the few times that I do, if it's got a name to it, I'll answer it. And when I develop a, client relationship with someone, I enter them in so that when they do call, I can answer. But if they're calling on their line 2 or line 3, well, then it doesn't come up that way. But anyway, back to the FCC. The Fed chair, his name is Ajit Pai, said in a news release there is no easy way or single answer, but by using every tool in our toolbox, we are fighting against the onslaught of unwanted calls that have led to a lot of consumers to stop answering the phone altogether. Now, isn't that something that these people that are out there just trying to spoof you into answering the phone to try to ram something down your throat or steal your identity or steal your information or whatever the case may be, whether it be China or Indonesia or wherever these onslaught of calls are coming from, or the your grandson's in jail and to get out, you got to go get a bunch of gift cards from Walmart. They prey on anything. They come up with stuff I've never heard of. But regardless, they have taken away your right to use your phone because you don't get any legit calls anymore. 90% spam, and they have robbed your phone from you, literally. But there is a way to fight back. The problem is we're not doing our part of it. Despite the massive number of annoying calls from telemarketers, almost nobody, and I underscore nobody, this is the FCC talking, reports this to the FCC, making it harder for the agency to stop the practice. Now, if you've ever gone to the FCC website, it's not user-friendly. And finding what you want is almost impossible. But there is a simple form on there that if you can find it, I'm going to give you the address here in a second. If you can find it, it's very simple. You just put in, they ask, what are you complaining about? And a drop down, you say, mobile phone, then robocall, and then give them the number, and that's it. And from there, they build up their database and go after these clowns. But it won't stop unless we can do our part. I know it takes a moment, but perhaps at the end of the day, you could go back through your call log, and you can mark the ones that, I got so many calls in my block list, and my block list is full. I can't add another one. So you can't keep adding. Eventually, you hit the full list. And it's kind of interesting that when you go through the motions to block a call, it only flashes up there momentarily that your block list is full. And you may not even see it. It goes by so fast. I guess it's the phone's way of saying, well, we don't want you to see the shortfalls of this phone. But you can block these consumer complaints or these robocalls by helping the FCC. They can go, they can prosecute, they can work with the telephone company to get these numbers blocked out or get the path that these people are following blocked out. Doesn't mean they can't create a new one, but hopefully they won't create one to you. Now, the address is https, got the F's, / consumercomplaints.fcc.gov. Now, there's a long extension on there after that, but if you do that much, consumercomplaints.fcc.gov, it should get you there. It goes on, of course, it's the government page, so it's got a whole bunch of weird stuff. But you need to fill out a ticket. Like I said, there's only like 3 spaces on the ticket. Very simple. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your telephone number. You're telling about the person that robocalled you. And from there, they can take it. But you got to admit, there's 47 million robocalls being made. If we're not complaining to the government agency that will try to do something about it, then you only got yourself to blame for them getting through. But it's going to take all of us to start complaining. You need to get on your Facebook and your Twitter and your Instagram and whatever else is popular, Snapchat, and get your friends to start turning them in. And you know what? It can go away pretty quickly if we give them the tools to go after. They got the way to hunt these people down. They got the power of the government to put them in jail, particularly if it's originating out of an American company. But if we don't give them the numbers, they're defenseless to help us. So again, it's consumercomplaints.fcc.gov. Go there and fill out your tickets. And do it every day. When you're sitting down, pull that phone out. Shoot, you can't go 20 seconds without playing with it. Instead of surfing some brain-dead website, go there and fill out the complaints. Just use your phone log to put the numbers in. And this way we can maybe stop this thing. I don't know. All right, let's start digging into these sound bites right quick. We'll carry over the next hour if we don't get them all, which we won't. Okay, today is President's Day. Yeah. Here's an important reminder about why we celebrate this historic day.
The third Monday in February, President's Day. A day when the U.S. honors George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Americans can save up to $1,000 on select mattresses at the Mattress Depot Land. As we remember the father of our country, our 16th president, and others looking for huge savings on all king and queen adjustable mattress sets. I cannot tell a lie. Treat yourself to a life-changing sleep on a Tempur-Pedic mattress. And celebrate our nation's great leaders on President's Day by emancipating your wallet only at Mattress Depot Land, now with 0% financing.
All right, this being President's Day, it's time for Cultural Sensitivity Theater.
It's time for Cultural Sensitivity Theater. Today's episode, it's President's Day.
Dad, what's President's Day?
Well, Timmy, today is when we celebrate the birth of our first president, George Washington. Well, Timmy, today is when we celebrate the birth of notorious slave owner George Washington.
Great! I love George Washington. And he killed so many Native Americans, too.
Don't worry, it celebrates other great Americans, too. Don't worry, it celebrates other old racist white guys, too.
Well, since there's no school, want to go to the park and toss the football? Well, since there's no school, want to go to the park and participate in a primal activity that causes lifelong mental and physical damage?
Sure, I'll go get the truck. Sure, I'll go start the single largest contributor to ozone depletion because nobody took Al Gore seriously.
Love you, Dad. Love ya, white male oppressor at the roots of all societal ills.
Join us next time on Cultural Sensitivity Theater for a chat with Grandma about Bernie Sanders' religion.
He's a what? Oh.
Yeah, that's about how bad it's gotten out there. Doesn't matter how you say it, the person's there to tell you said it wrong. Or in my case, I got a listener that writes in, you didn't say Wednesday, you say Wednesday. Oh, heaven forbid. Let's see. You know, we didn't always have President's Day. We didn't. Every year stores have huge blowout sales for President's Weekend. And we were able to dig back to that very first Presidential Day ad.
It's Ye Olde President's Day Celebration-a-thon. In honor of George and Abe, for 3 days, the Bed Shoppy has slashed prices on horsehair mattresses and half off on the thing ye rest ye head on that be soft, but we have no name for yet. At Jefferson's Used Ox Carts, we're blowing out used ox carts. These ox carts have low miles and low splinters. And we also have one used ox. Plus 35% off all whips. And Witherspoon's Tooth and Shoe Repair will sit ye down with one of our certified mouth lookers and give ye mouth a lookin'. And all tooths, be they oak, pine, walnut, and drift, are on sale up to 25% off. And at the Apple Store, you'll find the latest in Apple technology. Juice! Don't forget to bring the whole family by Pewter World to ride the Pewter! It's Ye Olde President's Day Celebration-a-thon. Don't miss out, unless ye have shingles or a pox and such.
Okay, very first President's Day ad ever. You know, I was talking about the FCC complaint side and how unfriendly the FCC side is. Maybe you have better experience than I did. You know, I have an account with them, obviously, and they give us a bunch of numbers to punch in, to sign in, and then life gets a little easier. But when I was looking for this consumer place to report robocalls, it took me about a good 30 minutes to finally get down to the place I needed to be. And I put in a lot of searches, a lot of ways in order before I finally clicked in and found what I'm looking for. So that's why I gave you the site directly. Save you all that time. But let's do our part and report those numbers. A dad dropped his teenage daughters off and her friend off at school the other day and shouted a bunch of stuff out the window to try to embarrass her. Of course, he recorded it for YouTube, but you know how kids got to be cool. Some things they don't want to hear from the parents when they get dropped off. Everybody accepts you can't drive and somebody's got to drop you off, be it a parent or a bus. But here's what he was yelling out the window.
Bye, sweet girl. Have a good day at school. Oh, there's a puddle. Bye, Kate. Bye, Kate.
Get out.
I love you, Kate.
Stay out.
Have a great day at school, Kate. Bye, Cordelia. Bye, Emma. I love you, Kate. I'm Kate Downey's father. Hi, Principal Dennis. Hi, Principal Dennis. I'm Kate Downey's father, and I love her. I'm going to miss her all day. I love you, Kate.
Yeah, you can find Kate under the rock she was hiding. A travel website called TourRadar.com is sending 2 people on a trip around the world, and anyone can apply. But if you win, the person you travel with will be a complete stranger. Here's a clip from the promo video that they posted.
This year, Tour Radar is helping 2 complete strangers to stop daydreaming and start exploring. For 50 days, you could be traveling across 5 different continents on 5 awe-inspiring tours, all while we share your incredible journey with your friends and family back home. And leave your piggy bank intact, because we're covering every single expense. If you've been waiting for the right time to make your escape, this is it.
Okay. Let's see. Do I have time? Perhaps. We'll try. Chicago police won't admit it officially yet, but several outlets claim they now are investigating whether Empire star Jussie Smollett staged the alleged hate crime against him. At least the 2 so-called attackers said that he paid them $4,000 each to pull this thing off. TMZ even claims the case is heading to a grand jury this week. Last week, police raided the home of 2 men as potential persons of interest in the alleged attack back on January 29th. The men are both from Nigeria and were not white, as Smoke claimed the attackers were. One of them was apparently a personal trainer who had worked with Smoke, and 2 of them may have also worked on Empire. Anyway, sources say Smoke paid them, the brothers, $4,000 to attack him, right down to putting a rope around his neck and throwing some kind of chemical on him. That was one of those real cold days, and he said he got bleach thrown on him. Yeah, I carry around bleach on cold days too.
Good Monday morning. A gray start to the day, but we will see some clearing as we head towards the afternoon. Still the chance of a few sprinkles early this morning, but we dry out after lunchtime today. Some partial clearing possible and warmer temperatures as we climb into the upper 50s to mid 60s. Mostly cloudy and chilly tonight with lows in the low to mid 30s, and by tomorrow cooler with highs in the mid to upper 40s. Mostly cloudy with rain moving in during the afternoon and evening. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump will protect his national emergency declaration, guaranteed. That from senior presidential advisor Stephen Miller. He says the president will issue his first veto if Congress votes to overturn the declaration. Miller telling Fox News Sunday the declaration is warranted.
We have families and communities that are left unprotected and undefended. We have international narco-terrorist organizations. This is a threat in our country, not overseas, not in Belarus, not in Zimbabwe, not in Afghanistan or Syria or Iraq, but right here.
Congressional Democrats plan to introduce a resolution disapproving of the declaration. It is likely to pass Congress, with several Republican senators already indicating that they would vote against Mr. Trump. though there do not appear to be enough votes to override a presidential veto. Later today, critics of the declaration plan protests, and there are also some lawsuits in the works. Disgraced former Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner, released from a Massachusetts federal prison. He's now back in New York City.
The once rising star in the Democratic Party was convicted of having illicit online contact with a 15-year-old North Carolina girl in 2017. He was sentenced to 21 months in a federal medical center. The Bureau of Prisons now says Anthony Weiner is in the custody of its Residential Reentry Management Office in Brooklyn, New York, with a release date in May. At the time of his sentencing, Weiner was told he'd spend 3 years on supervised release and will pay a $10,000 fine and will have to register as a sex offender. Julie Walker, New York.
President Trump travels to Miami today. He'll deliver a speech at Florida International University. Mr. Trump will demand that Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro step down. The United States views National Assembly leader Juan Guaido as Venezuela's legitimate leader. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
A top Kurdish official in Syria says European powers have a political and moral responsibility not to abandon Kurdish fighters once their battle against ISIS is over.
The Syrian Kurds may have won the gratitude of Western powers for their decisive role in the defeat of IS in Syria, but they're at risk of seeing their interest marginalized in the aftermath. Turkey has been adamant in its portrayal of the Syrian Kurdish fighters as terrorists. Once US forces are withdrawn, that could leave the Kurds dangerously exposed. The French defense minister has said the Kurds should not be abandoned, and a top Kurdish official, Aldar Halil, has echoed this, suggesting that France could put its money where its mouth is and table a UN motion calling for an international force on the border.
The BBC's Sebastian Usher. Tensions continue to mount in the aftermath of a suicide attack in Kashmir. 7 people killed today, and a gun battle broke out as Indian soldiers scoured the area for militants. Townhall.com. Japanese Prime Minister Abe will not say if he nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, but he hasn't denied doing so.
Donald Trump's assertion Abe had nominated him for the honor and sent him a copy of the letter has raised criticism in Japan. One Tokyo lawmaker says, given the lack of progress on various issues with North Korea, he was concerned such a nomination would send the wrong message to North Korea and internationally. Now questioned about the president's claim, Abe says, in light of the Nobel Committee's policy of not disclosing recommenders and nominees for 50 years, I decline to comment. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
New Zealand's government announcing plans for a new tax targeting multinational online giants like Google and Facebook. They earn plenty of money in the country but pay little tax. The Prime Minister says the current taxing system isn't fair and that there's a gap that needs to be closed. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Begin the year with a new car from Leith Honda Aberdeen. With a huge selection of new 2018 and 2019 vehicles, great prices, and no games or gimmicks, Leith Honda Aberdeen makes it easy for you, no matter what your budget is. We have special interest rates as low as 0.9% APR and sign and drive leases with no money down that could put you in a new car today. Leith Honda Aberdeen, easy to get to and easy to deal with. Come in today.
great news. Get into an available Ram, Jeep, Chrysler, or Dodge with easy pricing. Only at Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. During the Ram Truck Month, new 2018 and 2019 vehicles are available with easy pricing. Just ask. At Leith and Aberdeen, we're easy to get to, easy to deal with, and the home of easy pricing in Aberdeen. Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. The name you can trust. Tax tag and $598 administrative documentary fee additional.
Being overweight is the #1 health problem in America today. It leads to so many avoidable health issues. If you have a weight problem and finally want to do something about it, then do what I did and participate in the Transforming You Weight Loss Program, offered by Dr. Sharon Wright at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. It's a customized, physician-assisted program based on your body type and your goals. A healthier, more vibrant, spirited, and slimmer you emerges. Now, I lost 25 pounds in the first month and 50 pounds to date. That keeps me motivated. Now, the program is easy to follow. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and if I can do it, you can do it. Give Dr. Wright a call and set up your no-charge consultation about the Transforming You Weight Loss Program at 910-673-2225. That's White Chiropractic at 673-2225.
Here's Jenny from Pinecrest, a patient at Sandhills Weekend Dental.
It may seem odd to look forward to going to a dentist, but as I told Dr. Terry Ann Sams, I always feel better when I leave their office than when I came in. Dr. Sams and the staff at Sandhills Weekend Dental just make you feel relaxed.
Sandhills Weekend Dental, Highway 211, just past Harris Teeter. Open Wednesday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturday, 9 to 2. Call for an appointment at 910-867-4423, 687-4423. Jump into the fire at Brick's Woodfire Pizza at the Cole Shopping Center and check out the new menu. In addition to the great selection of wood-fired pizzas, Brick's now has wood-fired wings in 3 flavors, delicious soups, pastas, salads, and sandwiches, all made fresh daily. Brick's Pizza now serves Sunday brunch from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. with your choice of 6 menu items and all bottles of wine Sundays at half price. Jump into the fire at Brick's Woodfire Pizza, Cole Shopping Center, Southern Pines. Open every day at 11 a.m.
You can jump into the fire.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. In a blockbuster interview on CBS's 60 Minutes, former acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe detailed his concerns about President Trump that led him to launch probes to investigate Mr. Trump's ties to Russia and his firing of FBI Director James Comey. Professor Larry Sabato, director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia.
This is completely unprecedented in American history. There has never been a president who was suspected of working for a foreign power, much less a modern president working for Russia, our primary enemy in the world.
The North Carolina State Board of Elections is holding a hearing on ballot fraud allegations in the nation's last undecided congressional election, the 9th. The multi-day hearing starting today in Raleigh will include the results of months-long investigation into allegations that a political operative tampered with mail-in ballots in Bladen County. North Carolina's newly elected and first-ever African-American Supreme Court Justice Sherry Beasley spoke at a Black History Month program near the coast of North Carolina at Salem Missionary Church in Columbia. She told WCTI News,
as the first African-American woman to serve as Chief Justice, it doesn't fall short on me at all, the weight of this opportunity.
Defending the president, the White House supporting Mr. Trump's national emergency declaration on the U.S.-Mexico border, with senior advisor Stephen Miller indicating President Trump is ready to veto any move by Congress to reverse it. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
House Democrats are likely to file that joint resolution of disapproval next week, and they'll likely have enough Republican support to have it make its way through Congress.
The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department says that officers are investigating this morning an attempted kidnapping at a South Charlotte bus stop. No other details are available. You're listening to NCN News.
There's a new risky scheme circulating in Raleigh that's going to hurt our teachers, state employees, and retirees.
The state treasurer is floating this risky scheme that will cut more than $400 million in payments to your local doctors and hospitals. Those cuts will cripple local hospitals, meaning state employees, teachers, and retirees on the state health plan will have limited access to hospitals and doctors in your community. This risky scheme will cut services. It will take away your choice about who you want to care for you and your family.
If the state treasurer really wants to cut costs to the state health plan, he needs to work with doctors and hospitals to prevent illness, manage chronic diseases, and help folks lose weight and stay healthy.
Healthy employees and retirees will save the state health plan money. Isn't that what the treasurer says he wants?
Let's stop pointing fingers and start working to build a smarter state health plan by protecting patients and supporting the folks who take care of them.
That's the North Carolina way of doing things.
Paid for by Partners for Innovation in Healthcare.
Could President Trump be in the running for the Nobel Peace Prize?
Anything is possible, particularly after Mr. Trump said last week that he'd been nominated by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Today, Abe was asked about that. A spokesman for the Prime Minister declined to say that if he had nominated the president, citing Nobel rules that don't identify the nominees. But at the same time, Abe didn't deny nominating Mr. Trump and said his government highly regards the president's leadership. Bill Rakoff, CBS News, Washington.
The political turmoil continues in Virginia as the governor and attorney general face criticism for blackface photos in the past, and the lieutenant governor faces allegations of sexual misconduct. Wake Forest University political science professor John Dinan says Governor Ralph Northam has not followed the traditional path on this.
In previous times, there's been widespread calls for executive officials to step down, and they've responded. They say, well, I guess I have to step down. I'm responding. It's a reminder, as the governor says, that you can't make me go anywhere. I'm elected for a 4-year term.
A viral video of what appears to be a police officer punching a teenager during an arrest is being investigated. More from KYW-TV's Joe Holden.
Viral video of a police officer punching a teenager during an arrest is under investigation in Delaware's Whitehall neighborhood. 2 Newcastle County police officers can be seen holding a teenage boy down while one punches him in the head several times. This happened on East Bellamy Drive Friday night. We don't know what happened before the cameras started rolling. Newcastle County Police says an internal investigation is underway, adding they hold their officers to the highest standard of police conduct.
Many people are still recovering from Hurricane Florence, and the storm didn't just take a toll on homes. It also hit nature preserves. 2 groups near Wilmington teamed up over the weekend to clean up the F. Henwood Nature Preserve. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Good Monday morning. A gray start to the day with a chance for showers very early, but we start to dry out as we head towards the afternoon hours today. Partly sunny by the afternoon with highs climbing into the upper 50s to mid-60s. We'll stay dry tonight into the early part of tomorrow. Mostly cloudy but chilly tonight with lows in the low to mid-30s. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with rain moving in during the afternoon and highs in the mid to upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, still cloudy, 44 degrees, humidity max at 100%, 2.44 pressure, 29.94 winds southwest of 6, visibility 10 statute miles. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning. Deputies with the Sheriff's Office assisted Moore County Probation Parole with a search at 3227 Cedar Hill Road in Robbins. As a result of the search, deputies seized 44 grams of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, about $1,000 in cash, and with the street value of the drugs being right at $5,300. Those arrested included Timothy Craig Reed, 39 years old, Justin Edward Crisco, 37, Carrie Beth Huzzy, 36, and Amy Michelle Russell, 26. All were placed in the Moore County Detention Center. In other news this morning, an ongoing project to refurbish the Moore County Airport stormwater drainage system went slightly awry last week and almost caused the closure of the airport. The repairs involved effectively reinforcing the existing drainage under the airfield, which was installed in the early 1960s when the runway was originally paved by inserting resin liners into the 12 large drain pipes. Without the repairs, deterioration of the airfield drainage would likely be to comprise the integrity of the runway and taxiway. The authority awarded $1.2 million to the project and to the Virginia-based Step Construction Company this past July and received a long-awaited NCDOT grant to fund it last month. earlier last week, although the sandbags in one of the drain pipes prevented full insertion of the liner. Removing it took a couple of days and could have meant stationing equipment in the protected zone around the runway. Clearing the blockage to re-attempt installing the pipe liner is expected to take several weeks. The project is scheduled to be completed around the first week of April. And a Florida-based grocery chain, Publix, may not be done eyeing Moore County. It has been nearly 3 years since public opposition against the store in Southern Pines tried to block it there at the entrance to Pinehurst. But Pinehurst Village manager Jeff Sanborn told the village council this past week that he has seen a preliminary sketch of a shopping center with a Publix as an anchor tenant off US 15501 just north of the village. The site is just past the intersection of Juniper Lake Road. The developer has not mentioned any possible tenants and described the anchor as a big box store. Sanborn told the council that the sketch he saw was a typical roadside shopping center. He said that he didn't want to alarm anyone, but he said it seemed the front of 15501, where the storefront would be, was too close and didn't really have the setback that the village would like. Any plans to be would be handled through what is called a conditional rezoning, which would be tied to the specific use agreed by the applicant and the county. That would allow the county to include additional conditions. Conversely, the developer could also seek waivers on certain requirements. Both sides would have to agree to those conditions. But this would be a county decision, not a village decision. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes all your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB is 818.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Kevin Durant had 31 points and 7 rebounds for Team LeBron, while LeBron James added 19 points as they overcame a big game from Giannis Antetokounmpo to defeat Team Giannis 178-164 in last night's NBA All-Star game in Charlotte. Durant's performance good enough to earn him the game's MVP honor.
First time was cool. That's how, in 2012, started to feel like I started to hit that elite level. So, it was all that stuff in 1 year was pretty exciting to me. But as a veteran now, coming back, winning another MVP is cool to put it to the trophy case.
Joe Gibbs Racing was able to compete a sweep of the top 3 spots in the Daytona 500 yesterday, a month after co-founder J.D. Gibbs died following a long battle with a degenerative neurological disease. Denny Hamlin took the checkered flag in winning his second Daytona 500 in 4 years.
I was just relaxed. I knew what I needed to do, and I wasn't going to venture off from that. So I wasn't nervous about, hey, what if this happens? What if that happens? I knew in my head what I needed to do, and if the race worked out great for us, we were going to win.
Joe Gibbs said it was a special victory following the death of his son, J.D. Gibbs, last month.
It's the most emotional and the biggest win I've ever had in my life in anything.
Kyle Busch finished second, followed by other JGR teammate Eric Jones. Defending Cup Series champion Joey Logano finishing fourth. One North Carolina men's D1 college basketball program in play on Sunday. ECU losing to Tulsa in overtime, 77-73. Sean Williams scored a season-high 26 for the Pirates, who have now lost 5 in a row. Finals in Sunday's games involving teams ranked in the top 25. Number 9 Houston shredded Tulane 85-50. 11th ranked Michigan State bumped off Ohio State with ease, 62-44, and St. John's upset number 13 Villanova 71-65. This is NCN Sports.
Hockey fans, Caniacs, and other cool people, have you ever tried a Canes Fam value pack? They're a great way for you and your fam, that could be family or co-workers or buddies, to catch a Carolina Hurricanes home game with 4 or more bundled discounted tickets that also come with a $10 per ticket PNC Arena food and beverage credit. This special offer is available March 1st against the Blues, March 23rd against the Wild, and April 4th against the Devils. Learn more today at hurricanes.com/FamPacks.
Where are the leaders of tomorrow shaped and molded? They're shaped on the courts, fields, mats, and tracks of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. The NCHSAA is our 417-member schools, impacting communities across the state of North Carolina. From Murphy to Manteo, the NCHSAA is coaches, administrators, and officials working tirelessly to invest in the next generation of leaders for our great state. Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
Never one to keep his opinions to himself. Don Cherry unloaded on the Carolina Hurricanes for their team celebrations on the ice after they win. Those celebrations include a player using his helmet as a bowling ball to knock over his teammates like pins, or taking a swing at a puck when it's thrown like a baseball. During his Coach's Corner segment on Sunday's Hockey Night in Canada, Cherry did not hold back.
This is the National Hockey League. These guys, to me, are jerks. And I'll tell you one thing, they better not do this in the playoffs. What I don't understand is Brendan Moore's a street shooter. He always was. This is a joke.
The team took to Twitter to issue a few hilarious responses. They even mocked Cherry as a caricature of Grandpa from The Simpsons. The team also took the criticism as a marketing opportunity. Later this week, they will put a Bunch of Jerks t-shirt on sale. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Aaron Cooper here with Cooper Ford, your only locally owned Ford dealership in Moore County. 2018 was a phenomenal year, and we're off to a great start in 19. With 0% available on select models and discounts as much as $15,000, now is a great time to come see us at Cooper Ford and experience for yourself the difference a family-owned dealership can make. Straightforward pricing without all the hassle. I'm Aaron Cooper, and I want to know you by name and show you how car buying should be. Please come visit us in historic Carthage or visit us on the web at cooperford.net. We're working hard to be your hometown dealer.
American playboy Bernard Laurent is living in Paris with his fiancée Gloria, and Gretchen, and Gabriella. All three women are airline stewardesses who are only home every 3 days. And of course, none of them know about the others. So hilarity ensues in Temple Theater's latest comedy, Boeing Boeing, on stage February 14th through March 3rd. Unfortunately for Bernard, his perfect setup of being happily engaged to 3 different women is bound to run into trouble at some point. Things begin to unravel when there is a change to the women's flight orders, making it increasingly difficult to keep them apart, and eventually bringing all 3 of them home on the same day. Don't miss Boeing Boeing on stage February 14th through March 3rd. Tickets are $27 and available by calling the Temple box office at 919-774-4155 or online at templeshows.com. That's 919-774-4155 or online at templeshows.com. Sponsored by First Bank and the Edward Jones Investment Offices of Brian Mathis, Dargan Moore, and James Mitchell.
If you're like most folks, you love your home. You love your neighborhood and those that live around you. But when you go inside your home, you see that it is in need of a massive updating, especially those bathrooms, kitchen, and great room. You know that these areas need upgrading, but you also know what a task it is to do it yourself. Hi, I'm Steve Leader Adams, and I've built over 2,000 homes, and I and my partner Larry Postawade have over 70 years of construction experience and have our own remodeling business called Relive It Remodeling. We also pride ourselves on making remodeling jobs an easy and enjoyable process for our clients. We look after everything from permits to the last paint stroke. We also show up when we promise and stay until completion. And we also recycle any materials through the Wounded Warrior program. And here's one more promise. Nobody, and I mean nobody, does better quality work than we do. For your next renovation job, give me a call right here at WEEB at 692-7440 or check us out on the web at ReliveItRemodeling.com.
This is Chuck from Sunbelt Service Pros. Are you just not feeling it anymore with your AC service provider? Are you calling those guys because that's what you've always done, or because there's a sticker on the thermostat with an old phone number on it? How about this? Take a chance and you'll be thrilled to find that you're getting real value for your heating and cooling dollars. When you call Sunbelt Service Pros, you are dealing with a professional and reliable service provider. Our technicians are highly trained and certified and can quickly address any issues. Our customers find our technicians and office staff courteous, friendly, and professional throughout the whole process. We're doing something right here. You need to check us out. Find out what you've been missing and call us today. Sunbelt Service Pros at 910-944-2044 or go online to sunbeltservicepros.com.
You know they're out there.
You know.
You can't see them.
Can't see.
You can't hear them.
Can't hear.
But you know they're there.
They're there.
Termites. You know they're hungry. And you know your house is their main course. So you know you have to do something. What can you do? It's really quite simple. You ask for Termidor, the unique treatment that wipes out 100% of the termites in your home in 3 months or less. Every last termite dead. Bye-bye. For a long, long time. Now you know. Only Termidor is 100% effective against termites in 3 months or less. So ask for Termidor by name from your pest control company. Because if you're not asking for Termidor, you're asking for trouble.
Termidor is available at Aberdeen Exterminating. Call 944-2474. That's 944-2474.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. You know what group of people I think is the second dumbest group of people in America? Political experts. These are the men and women you see on TV every night making their predictions. Predictions like, Donald Trump will definitely not be the president of the United States. And you know who did that? Every single one of them. Not one single expert took the winning side, and that's one reason why I don't gamble on politics. And if I did, I would never consult a political expert. If you want to consult an expert, stick to medical experts or financial experts or lawn maintenance experts. Would you get on board a plane if they told you, and I don't know how this could ever happen, but if they told you, we need to warn you, the pilot has never successfully landed an airplane? It'd be nice if they would put underneath the person talking on television as an expert things like, oh yeah, this guy got something right, but it was 1967. He's been living off of it ever since. Okay, so I think they're the second dumbest group. I think the third dumbest group is the people who hire these knuckleheads. And they do hire them. They pay them millions of dollars to say things like, well, Charles, I'll tell you, the last thing Donald Trump needs to do right now is keep that hair. If he wants to win, obviously, he's going to have to get a flat top. And the dumbest group? All the people who listen and believe the experts. You can trust me. I'm no expert. In the Zumwalt Zone.
Good Monday morning. A gray start to the day, but we will see some clearing as we head towards the afternoon. Still the chance of a few sprinkles early this morning, but we dry out after lunchtime today. Some partial clearing possible and warmer temperatures as we climb into the upper 50s to mid 60s. Mostly cloudy and chilly tonight with lows in the low to mid 30s, and by tomorrow cooler with highs in the mid to upper 40s. Mostly cloudy with rain moving in during the afternoon and evening. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today is Monday, it's President's Day. Our founding fathers, pioneering and brave. They grew tobacco and had sex with their slaves. The banks are closed, there won't be any mail. We honor Washington and Lincoln with a 3-day mattress sale.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
It's Monday.
Good morning.
Wrong again.
I am not a morning person.
I hate mornings.
Let's get to work.
I hate Mondays. I hate Mondays.
Well, I'm not crazy about them either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
It's time for...
What is it? Showtime.
Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24-karat magic in the air.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. Time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, and don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every top middle of the page of the homepage is where that link is. If you're on the mobile device, YouTube will do the work for you. Put Mornings with the Leader Man in there. If you're on your mobile device, just clicking an audio stream, you can get that by going to talk973. I'm speaking three things at once. You can get that by using streaming services like TuneIn, iTunes, Streama. Many others will work, but WEEB in the search. And like I said, off of our website at talk973.com. You can get it by tapping that icon in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages. Where the icon says Listen Live, tap it once and you're listening that quick. Some of those listening online this morning is Rome, New York. Got Texas online, Holly Springs, North Carolina. Pickering, Ontario, Canada. St. George, Utah. Vero Beach, Florida. Columbus, New Mexico. Brooklyn, New York. Lots of people in Fayetteville online. Ottawa, Canada. Lots of people throughout Canada listening. Moose Lake, Manitoba. Let's see. Commercial Point, Ohio. Oak Lawn, Illinois. Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Denver's online this morning. Wilmington, Trussville, Alabama. And Ajax, Ontario, Canada. That's just some of the thousands listening in this morning. Picked randomly this morning, and we appreciate each and every one of you that join us online every day. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area is going to be mostly cloudy this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon. I have 63. Tomorrow, you might see a little bit of sun, but then small chance of some showers in the morning, giving way to better chance of showers at night. Low overnight tonight, 35. High tomorrow, 46. Wednesday, 80% chance of rain and 42. Thursday, 50-50 shot of showers and 66. Friday, 50-50 shot of showers and 61. Saturday and Sunday, 50% chance of rain each day. 58 Saturday, 66 on Sunday. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are southwest of 6. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 2994, dew point 44. Humidity maxed at 100%. It's still cloudy and 44 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:32 past the hour. One of the things we didn't get to last hour, the NFL has settled with Colin Kaepernick over his accusations that the league colluded to keep him out. He hasn't played for 2 years after he began kneeling in protest police brutality and social injustice, and he chose to do that during the playing of our national anthem, which went over like a lead balloon. The terms of the settlement are confidential, but it sounds like the league coughed up a ton of money. Early reports say it's between $60 and $80 million, while TMZ claims it's closer to $100 million. The grievance also involved Eric Reed, who has since signed with the Carolina Panthers, and just last week he got a 3-year, $22 million extension. Eric was the first player to join Colin's protests. There are people on both sides who are upset over the settlement. Some are angry that the league caved and gave in to Collins before a trial, and others say Collins sold out his cause by taking the money. So you can be your own judge there. All right. Let's see. What else we have here? Oh, yeah. In the news, they got a Publix that's talking about building in a shopping center that's planned for there at the intersection of 15501 and Juniper Lake Road. They had originally talked about doing it there at Turnberry Woods there on, what's the street to draw the blank every time? At the corner of 15501 and right across from CCNC. It'll come to me in 2 seconds. But anyway, which was in the jurisdiction of Southern Pines. But the people in Piners jumped up and down about it. Oh, we don't want one there to hurt the ambiance of the area. It's across from CCNC, and that's just public trash compared to us. No, it's like this, Pinehurst, and I've mentioned this numerous times. you have a no-welcome mat laid out in front of your town hall door to anything commercial. Each and every one of you, if you want groceries, have to get in your car and leave town and jam up the highways everywhere doing it. If you would allow a little bit of commercial into your area, A, you wouldn't have to drive so far, and B, you'd relieve congestions all over this county because you wouldn't be jamming up streets elsewhere. But you can't do that. No, you just have this policy. Nope, we're a residential community. No commercial can come in. And that's wrong. Studies have shown all over this country that people like to shop close to where they live or work. They like to work close to where they live. If we would allow commercial and residential to kind of mix with each other in a tasteful, blending way, you wouldn't have to go so far for everything. They had a nice project there by the eye clinic that they had planned on Midland Road. Everybody, it increased traffic, it'll hurt the ambiance, blah, 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 blah. No, it would have lowered traffic, and things would not have been so crowded everywhere. Because when you reduce traffic in one spot, you create traffic somewhere else, and vice versa. So you didn't want it there on Morganton Road. That's the word I was looking for a moment ago. You didn't want it on Morganton Road, so now you're going to get it on 15501. So I guess they're figuring those headed toward Carthage, they can get there at that Publix, and those that live in Pinehurst Trace and Number 6 and the hospital and perhaps Little River, which closed, but the traffic from all that could be enough traffic to support a public there. Trust me, they do their homework. They know how many cars go by. They know what percentage of those cars will turn in and use them. And they know what the future demand will be. So, Pinehurst, you don't get a say. You got your say by saying we don't want you in our neighborhood. So they will set up around you. That's what businesses do. They will set up in a circle around you so that they pick up those coming in your direction, just like out there the new Harris Teeter. Set up out there to pick those up coming into Pinehurst. Or it's right out there on the edge of Pinehurst. If Pinehurst had any sense, they would have encouraged that on their side of 211 to pick up the tax revenue. But you don't. So that's why your taxes are so daggone high. Commercial development pays the majority of taxes. If you have it, when you don't, guess what? It gets passed to the residential. And then you jump up and down about your taxes going up. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. But instead of having a mindset that's just closed to any new ideas, perhaps you ought to open it up to look at good land planning. You know, I've seen letters to the editor, basically says, I'm in here, shut the door behind me. I don't want anybody else in. We need to stop development. We need no more houses, no more anything. I don't want anybody else coming into my neighborhood. When you stop growing, your community will die. It will die. We just lost another golf course out there at Little River. Don't think it can't happen in Pinehurst, because it can. It can. These things are operating on a thin margin right now. And if you want your community to survive, you got to grow. You must grow. That is just economic fact, like it or not. All right, 8:39, 39 past the hour. Some of the sound bites we didn't get to last hour. Where did they go? There they are. A guy in Kentucky misheard his wife before Valentine's Day, so instead of getting her tulips, like she asked, he actually got her turnips. They explained it all in the local news, and the husband's really gravelly voice here.
The first thing, I didn't know how to react. It was like, oh, really? Of course, I had just had my first cup of coffee, and then it dawned on me that I didn't think he was really paying attention when he said, yes, I heard you.
Well, the first thing popped in my mind was, I thought you said turnips. No, I said tulips, and I was like, but when we was going to bed, I misunderstood you, and yeah, I really did a boo-boo on that one. We're going to let her cook them. I went out and got the tulips and the balloon to make it up for what I did to boo-boo.
Yeah, everything's fine now. He tried really hard, so everything's good to go.
Yes, I bought the bucket to put the turnips in. I thought I did good.
Tried really hard, but can't help it if I've married dummy.
Yeah. I really did a boo-boo on that one.
You did. Only one thing left to say.
All right, Dan.
What?
All right, Dan.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. A guy in Scotland accidentally got his neighbor's package from Amazon the other day. But before he could deliver it, the dog ripped it open and, well, what was inside?
We've been given someone else's parcel, but my Labrador, Bonnie, has ripped it open, and the parcel is a... What have you got there, Bonnie? What have you got? That's the parcel there. I'm not going to give you the address, but... How do you even explain that? What do you say to him? Bonnie, what have you got? Bonnie, you've well dropped me in now. I'm even going to get... How do you explain it? Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's a little hard to understand all that, but what he opened out was there was a bunch of sex toys inside. Got a little embarrassing. A guy in Delaware slept in the back of his car Saturday night after jamming with his friends. I guess he felt like he was too drunk to drive. And he dreamed that people got in his car, sat on his head, and took off with him in it. When he woke up on Sunday morning, he crashed his car, and the police arrested him. But it wasn't a dream. Security cameras showed a couple of guys did steal his car, realized he was in it, and bailed and crashed. Here's the report here.
I was playing music. It became quite late, so I went and crashed in my car. I had a weird dream that somebody sat on my head and that somebody jumped into the front seat of my car. And then I woke up in the back seat of my car. I get out, and then I started seeing all the treads inside this guy's lawn. There was a bush that was destroyed. I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't a dream. So cops get there, they interview me, they give me a full field test, and then they asked me to sit in the back of the car and said that since there were so many holes in my story, that there was no way for me to just be released and that I would have to be coming downtown for further interviewing. And that's when another police officer came by with a neighbor who had some surveillance footage, on what had actually happened. They began to describe that 3 men in a white Suburban jumped out. One jumped into the driver's seat, and the other jumped into the back seat and sitting on my head. And they both got spooked that I was there, and then they ran off with the car in gear while it went. My fatigue stupor, I jumped over into the driver's seat, made sure I made my corrections with the vehicle. I then pulled a U-turn and went back to sleep like it wasn't anything. Yeah, that's the only thing. If you didn't have any surveillance or any video evidence whatsoever, I would have been probably in a cell right now not being able to do anything but go, why? What happened?
Yeah, if you slept through all that, you were definitely doing some real potent stuff there. According to a new survey, or new study, I should say, using your toaster exposes you to more pollution than standing at a busy intersection. It's because the toaster releases more fine particles into the air, and the burnt toast is especially bad. Well, remember that scene from Time Bandits?
Hold on! I've got in for the toaster! I've got to save it!
Mom! Dad! It's evil! Don't touch it!
Okay. And there was also a 47-car, you heard right, 47-car pileup on I-70 in Missouri on Friday, caused by icy roads and a whiteout. One person was killed. A trucker who was in the middle of it filmed cars and trucks sliding into each other as it happened because people going down, across the interstate, and they assume traffic is moving. Then when they realize it's not, then they try to stop. And your natural tendency is to lay on the brakes and push harder. But all that does is lock up the brakes and you start sliding worse. The best thing to do is to take your foot off the brake and downshift as quick as you can. And let the engine slow you down. Because the second you touch those brakes, poof, you're out of control. Take the foot off the brake, sometimes you get that control back. Sometimes by the time you see what's going on, it's just too late. Here's what that trucker saw.
Oh, my Lord, it's an 18-wheeler coming. Oh, my Lord. Come on. We safe, baby. We safe. We safe. Come on, man. I'm talking about we barely, man, we ain't touched nobody. Ain't that song? We ain't touched nobody. We ain't touched nobody.
Somebody hit us though.
Okay, this car next to you is smoking. If it catches fire, I want you all to be able to get out of the car.
Are they okay?
We got to do something.
Hold on.
Hey, can this truck back up?
Yeah, please.
Can that truck back up?
You all right, man?
Yeah.
What a mess. What a mess. And here's a good one for you. A good news story today. A couple in Florida locked their 1-year-old daughter in their SUV last Thursday. But luckily, a group of prison inmates were on work release nearby, and one of them had car theft skills. What's your skill set? Oh, stealing cars. Come here. We need your help. So the cops let him use his coat hanger to break in, and the mom got in, and all is well on the video here.
What they got to do is push the electronic button.
Well, you should be able to push the unlock button now.
Is she okay in there?
Yeah, she's all right. Move it up here, bro.
This is hilarious.
This is a good one.
I'm sorry, bro.
It's not funny about the baby, but everything else is hilarious.
I did too.
Try the back door.
Be the lock.
Right next to it.
Yes, thank God. Woo! Thank you so much.
Nice job, boys. Thank you.
Have a happy Valentine's Day. You too. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, thank you guys so much. Honey, was that stressful? Oh my God. She was only in there for maybe 5 minutes. All the sheriffs and these good people, thank you, helped us. All the prisoners. Them prisoners bust that right open. So thank God for the criminals in the world.
Yeah, and then they took the criminal and booked him for breaking and entering again. Just kidding. It's Motivational Monday. Let's get you motivated in the next 42 seconds here.
Motivational Monday.
Motivational Monday. If you want to be more productive, start off by making your bed each morning. Making your bed completes your first task of the day. Yeah, it's small, but it will encourage you to do another task, and then another, and another. When your day's done, you will have completed lots of tasks. Making your bed will also remind you that it's the little things in life that matter. Get the small things right, and you'll be more likely to get the big things right too. And if you end up having a terrible day, you'll come home to a bed that's made. And a bed that's made could give you encouragement that the next day will be better.
Motivational Monday.
Okay. In case you needed it. All right. Rim shot time, I guess. Oh, before we do that, a lifestyle section this morning. You know I'm a big dog fan. But having a pet isn't always cheap. Just one cat or dog can cost you, some serious money, even thousands of dollars a year, especially when they get older and start having to see the vet more. But every pet owner will tell you what I'm going to tell you. It's worth every penny and even more. I've had Nate's, both of his knees had to be replaced. Worth every penny to restore the quality of life for him. Here are 4 ways that it's worth it. Here are 4 ways that a pet improves your life. Number 1, they relieve stress. Studies have shown that just getting your dog or cat lowers your blood pressure and relieves stress, which is even more important as we get older. Although beagles might be the exception to that rule. Yeah, they got that cuteness factor that saves them. But yesterday, mine got on a scent and down into the swampy, thick brush area he went and tried to go after him and to get down there. And he sees me, I see him rolling through the area because he's short and can get through it, and I'm tall and can't. Got to the point I had to have a machete or I couldn't go any further. I didn't have a machete on me. So I just had to wait for him to come out. Pets also help us raise happier, healthier children. Kids who grow up with pets in the house tend to have less anxiety, higher self-esteem, and better social skills. And being around a dog and your baby is also good. Recent study showed kids end up with stronger immune systems and fewer allergies if there's a dog in the house. Number 3, they encourage us to be more social. Dog owners are 5 times more likely to know their neighbors than people who don't own dogs. Fourthly, they're good for your heart. Dog owners walk a lot more than people who don't have dogs, which helps out your cardiovascular system. But a recent study also found that any type of pet can also help if you've had a heart attack. And 94% of people who have pets live at least 1 year after a serious heart attack, compared to just 72% who don't have pets. So do they help? Absolutely. All right, 8:52, 8 away from the top of the hour. On this Monday morning edition of Mornings with the Leader Man, let's jump into rim shots this morning. See how we do with that. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping on my computer so I can get to things quicker. All right, ready to rock and roll. Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono is 86. Wow. Has a net worth of hundreds of millions of dollars. Imagine there's no nepotism, huh? The Oscars backtracked from plans to announce some categories during commercials. Well, good. I'd hate to miss anything when I don't watch. Bill Cosby recently linked himself to Gandhi. Reminds me of the part where Gandhi was a serial rapist, right? Yesterday was NBA All-Star Sunday, or as the New York Knicks call it, Sunday. Colin Kaepernick has settled his collusion case with the NFL. Kaepernick called it a great weight off his shoulders. Sorry, that's what he said after a haircut, not the negotiations. More than 2,700 Germans dressed as Smurfs gathered together to break the world record. What record was that? The most virgins in one place. In the process, they also proved that there could be something even more terrifying in Germany than the Nazi rally. Anthony Weiner has been released from federal prison. Although I have to admit, when I first read the headline, Weiner released, I thought, what did you do this time, Jeff Bezos? Joe Biden may take a few weeks before announcing he's running for president, so be patient if you want Biden to throw his hair plugs into the ring here. Utah is trying to redesign the state flag to better represent its citizens. So expect the new design to consist of a giant slice of Wonder Bread there. And Payless is closing all 2,100 U.S. stores. If you didn't know, Payless is a footwear retailer whose shoes are made out of the exact same material as the box they come in. Doggone it. I just sent them my resume, said Scott Baio. Anyway, that's your rim shots for today. 8:55, 5 away from the top of the hour. Let's make it 8:56. I guess we got time. All right, let's go get some bad guys, shall we?
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
All right.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
All right, my friends. It's time once again. Today we don't have time to go to the safe, so we're just going to strap on the gun, pin on the badge, get 5 cans of whoop ass, and head out the door in relentless pursuit. Stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1. Well, we finally found one dude on Earth who actually likes the DMV, and he's in jail for it. There's a 34-year-old guy named Timothy Howell from Troy, Missouri, and apparently he's a big fan of local DMV, but like too big a fan. Over the past few months, he's been repeatedly buying pizza for the employees, driving through their parking lot all the time, following the employees on social media, and going in and asking a bunch of random forms, over and over again. But the employees felt like he was really crossed the line when he gave one of them some cash for a, quote, manicure or pedicure. They told him to stay away, and it escalated. He got his hands on an employee's cell phone number, started texting her, and even drove past her while she was filling up at the gas station. So Timothy was arrested for first-degree stalk and first-degree harassment, and with that, the DMV drops back down to 0 die-hard fans. And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Monday. And so it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here and roll over and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Peter Adams, and the Leader Man and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you this afternoon at 2 o'clock at the dog park. And don't forget, portions of this program look easy to do because I make them look easy.